If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
I had the best parents in the world. I had the most supportive sisters. I had great coaches in high school that instilled the love of the game in me. I went to college. It was a tough college experience, but I developed one mentor there, my friend Greg Harden, who was really psychologically shifted my mind and said, quit bitching about the things you don't have and start thinking about the things that you do have. You know, you don't think the coach is giving you a chance. Think about the chances that he is giving you. You know, and I shifted my mind, and instead of complaining that I didn't get as many opportunities as the other guys, I said, you know what, I'm gonna do the best with the ones I got. And when I got those opportunities, I took advantage of it. And because I took advantage of it, I did so well that they started giving me more opportunity. And I was like, sure, this works pretty good. Let me keep working hard. They gave me more. They gave me more. And that really was a great lesson in my life that I learned at 19, that I always saw myself as a victim, that I wasn't getting the opportunities when other guys were. But the reality was, because when I would get the opportunities, I wouldn't take advantage of them. Then I started getting the opportunities, and he helped me really with my mental mindset, as you said, and I started taking advantage of the opportunities. And then when I got to pro football and I was ready to compete, I'm like, hey, I'm ready to take advantage of some opportunities. If the coach gives me one, and I always said this, if the coach puts me in, I'm never coming off the field. If he gives me that shot, I'm not coming off the field. And to this day, outside of an injury, I haven't ever come off the field. And I still work today like I worked in my first year. Because why would I change now? You know, why would I? I'm going to keep learning. I'm going to keep being curious about things that can help me get better. I'm going to maintain this discipline, routine, and lifestyle that I've developed over a long period of time. It didn't all come at once, but I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use that to the best of my ability. And every person that doubted me, every person that said I couldn't doubt it, you know, thank you. That was great motivation for me. And I've had a lot of motivation, but at different times, you need little different bits of motivation.
You never know what life's going to bring and put at your plate. And the toughest things I've been through in my life have always been the best things. And there's been a lot of personal things, been a lot of professional things that have really challenged me, but it's really a shift in the mind. You went through something difficult and you learned from it, and that made you stronger.
You know, look, it's not always going to go great. It's just the reality of life. It doesn't, you know, if you look at my life, you know, it wasn't handed on a silver platter. I mean, people would see me now and go, oh man, 22 years in the NFL, you got it made. I'm sitting here thinking I was a backup quarterback on an 0-8 freshman team. Like, no one gave me a shot. Yeah. I didn't even start in high school. And then I only started in my sophomore year in high school because the guy above me retired. He was like, I'm not playing football, I'm playing basketball. When I went to Michigan football, I was the 7th quarterback on the depth chart when I got there. When I went to the New England Patriots, I was the 4th quarterback on the depth chart. So it wasn't like, it was like, here you go, Tom, here it is on a silver platter, you know? And I think I developed a lot of traits that were sustainable over a period of time. And I think the work ethic, the leadership skills, the continued learning. I feel like I'm a very curious person. I'm a lifelong learner. I think those things all contributed and were very sustainable traits that I learned from different groups of people over periods of time.
For the first time since he left this building 21 months ago after a playoff loss to the Titans, he returns in the most twisted of circumstances. Those very fans who cheered him for 20 years are now left with no choice but to root against his team. A complicated situation, but when I sat down with the greatest of all time, I found a man who knows exactly what he's getting into.
Me being able to work at my job and work at my craft, by practicing, let's say there's 100 practices a year. I mean, if you're only going to practice 50 of those 100, you only have 50 opportunities to get better. If you practice 96 of 100, you got 96 opportunities to get better. And I think that's the point is, you know, you're not going to get better at something by doing nothing.
Every single day. Every single day.
You know, we're playing an opponent this weekend. I study a lot of film to say, what are they doing well? what does the competition do really well? And where are their deficiencies? Where are they missing the mark in the market? And then we develop our plan to say, well, if we run these plays with the players that we have, we will have a high degree of a chance for success if we can do these very well at the moment of execution.
Some time has passed since you left New England.
Yeah.
Not much, but some. How do you reflect on your time in New England right now?
I left college and then go to play professional sports, which was certainly a huge dream of mine, but go to a different part of the country that I had no idea that I'd ever be in New England. I didn't even know where New England was. And, they become my new family, these teammates in this organization.
The future unclear for Tom Brady and so many other veteran Patriots.
I felt like it was 20 incredible years that shaped me and taught me so much about who I was, what winning football, what a winning organization should look like. I wouldn't change any of it.
Help us understand what some of those habits are that you have.
Well, I think most of them are, I would say the habits have become how I just would live my life. For example, if we're looking at let's start with the start of the day. If I'm looking at waking up, I usually wake up pretty early. If I'm going to start my day, usually I take a shower to kind of wake my body up. And then when I go downstairs to eat something, the first thing in our house, we probably have most of the things we have in the house, 90% of them, I'd say, would be considered healthy. So a lot of times I'll have smoothies in the mornings, or I'll have eggs, I'll have fruits. Those are typically the things I'll start the day with. I'll have some protein. I'll supplement protein in the morning. I take my supplements in the morning. So what I kind of would say, take into my body, I take in pretty healthy stuff to start the day.
Every single day.
And then as I work through the day and I go to basically, let's say I drive off to work, through the day, through the time in the meeting room, as my body's continuing to ramp up to practice, I'm continuing to give it nutrient-dense food, the right snacks. Now, I don't like to eat too much for practice, but the right snacks before I head out to practice.
Every single day.
Yeah, every day. And it never stops. And it's one quarter's great. And then the next quarter, it's like, what are we doing? Back to square one. And another, there's no off season, So I'd say a lot of it is developing a plan, having the right players, developing a coordinated effort, understanding the competitive marketplace, and then practicing, and then learning from practice. And then you try something, like, for example, we'll practice we'll put a plan in on Tuesday. We'll practice the plan on Wednesday. And sometimes it just doesn't look great. And you go, man, we tried it. It actually didn't look as good as I thought it looked. Let's scrap that and let's try some different things on Thursday. You do the same thing and you kind of add a few more and you trim a little and you add, trim. Same thing that happens on Friday. After Friday's practice, you kind of bring the whole plan together. Then you refine the plan and then you go out there in the market and you see what it's like. Over time, I've been very fortunate to be around some amazing people in my life.
What does Bill Belichick mean to you?
Well, he's obviously a great mentor and someone I learned so much from. We came in at the same time, 2000. I went into a situation that was ready to embrace me and help cultivate what I could become. And there were a lot of great coaches that played a huge role in my life over that period that taught me the game, taught me to be a professional.
Ultimately, the right plan, the right strategy, understanding the market, and then execution. And then along with execution comes a lot of, I would say, character traits, discipline, determination, resilience, mental toughness. All those things carry over into sports as well as business. And the best leaders, as we know, have the great traits of resiliency and determination. And
I know exactly how it's going to be like. I won't share it with anyone because I feel like I want to keep that to myself until, what I know what that experience will be. But I have a really good idea of what that'll be like because I want to help it prepare for ultimately, my performance. And I'm going to use what I've learned over the years to, hopefully go out there and play a great game. But
That's interesting. So you're saying you know what you've internalized what it'll feel like.
Oh yeah, I know exactly. I can envision everything. Sunday night football, I know what that's like. I know what the night's like. I know what the wind's like. I know how their team's going to prepare. I know what their schedule is going to be like. I know what's going to be said. So it's good. It's good for me to understand that. And I'm sure they'll have different things that, I'll have to adjust to, but it'll be very challenging. It's a great organization. There's great players, man. I played there. I know it. I know what I'm facing. So, our team's going to have to be at its best if we want to go out there and compete with one of the, great organizations in the NFL.
That's great, though. Nothing will catch you off guard.
Nope.
You'll see more of this interview in another piece because I asked Tom Brady at one point the biggest difference between himself now and 20 years ago. And his answer was interesting to me. He said, the core of who I am is very similar. My motivations are similar, but my circumstances are very different. I was a single guy, no money, living in a small apartment with so many of these dreams yet to come true. Tonight in Foxborough, he returns as a 44-year-old man with a family and kids, with another dream, though, that he would still like to realize.
All the experience that happened in my life, I'm very grateful for. They've all made me and allowed me to become the person that I've been. And I'm not done yet. I don't see myself as a finished product.
Leaving here, going to Minnesota, and you've heard me say this story about the time that I faced Bill Belichick coming back here. He did not want me to have a good game. Beat me up for 4 quarters, Brew. So when I got a second shot at him, I came back at him, and I tried to decapitate everybody in the Patriot uniform. But the thing that I look tonight, coming with Tom Brady, coming with that chip on his shoulder, all the hugs, all the kiss, and all the applause, that's going to be good. But once the ball is tonight, that's when we want to see Tom Brady with that Swiss Army knife going to come up here and try to carve this defense a new one.
We all think that we need to do things in order to change the world outwardly. And I think the best way to change the world is to take care of yourself. Take care of your own body. Take care of your mind. Take care of where you put your mind, where you focus your time and energy. There's so many crazy expectations that people have. And I think in a world today now I heard something that I love. Our brain is not the source of information. Our brain's an antenna. And what we tune into is going to take over our life. And if we want to tune into good things, let's tune into good things. And let's tune into things that are all going to enable us to all succeed because we're all connected. And if we want to make the world a better place and we want to treat our bodies a certain way, we got to treat ourselves the right way. Got to be kind to ourselves, got to be kind to, certainly ourselves, which enables us to be kind to our neighbor and the people in our lives. And I wish everybody the best of health, the best of success, the best of luck. I hope everybody gets out of life what they want. And everybody gets to make individual choices. And that's the beautiful thing about our lives.
No matter what.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day.